How long shall we wait?
It won't be long now. Sooner or later, one of them will break.
You wanna put a bet on who breaks first?
Go on then. What are we playing for?
Lose a bike with drinks tonight.
Deal. It won't be Ryan. He's been here before. He knows the game. Mine's on Miss Beacon's.
It's gonna be Michael. He was the most honest about everything.
They want to talk now.
I had no idea that Laura wanted to end things. I went round with flowers thinking it would be a lovely afternoon stroke evening. So when she told me, it was a complete shock. I spent hours trying to convince her to tell her how much I really loved her, to tell her I didn't want to be this side thing. I wanted to be with her. But when I realised that she'd made her mind up, that's when things got out of hand.
By out of hand, what do you mean?
We got into a massive argument. I told her she'd led me on and that she was using me to get back at her husband. And I was the unfortunate guy caught up in the middle of it all. She tried to convince me, saying that I was being silly. Oh, Michael, it's not like that. The more she spoke, the angrier I got, and these feelings of being rejected and not being good enough rose to the surface. In the end, I just left the house and went to the car.
Then what?
I just sat there, waiting.
Waiting for what?
Nothing. Just sat there, waiting. I suppose I was hoping that she'd come out to tell me that she wanted me.
During that time, did you see anyone else enter the house?
Yes.
It must have been hard.
When I found out she was ending things with Michael and her and Ryan were getting back together again, that been enough. Heartache came rushing back. I was there for him. I was his shoulder to cry on, and I listened to him. And I felt that maybe, just maybe, I could always have the man that I had always loved. And after that night we spent together, and after they'd taken time away from each other, I honestly thought that was going to be the case, but she just had to have it her way. She dropped him and picked him back up whenever she liked.
So when you went over, what happened?
I finally got it off my chest how I truly felt about her. All those years of anger, rage, seeing them all happy just blasted out at me all at once. We stood there screaming at each other. I called her every name under the sun. I told her how she took my Ryan away from me and how she just couldn't let me be happy, and how I always knew that she wanted him back when we were at school. But she wouldn't listen. She just kept going on, saying that he'd found a better woman and I was the worst nothing. And the only reason that Ryan had got with me was because he felt sorry for me.
How did that make you feel?
I wanted to kill her. I wanted her to feel my pain.
And did you hurt her?
When I got there, Laura and Sarah were in a heated argument, so I tried to step in and stop it. However, in doing so, they both turned on me. Sarah, of course, was giving me shit about the fact that I'd led her on and that I'd gave her false hope that we were going to get back together. Laura giving me shit about the fact that I slept with Sarah again.
What did you do?
I stood there and took the abuse.
You didn't say anything back?
No,
Why not?
because we all know where it ends up if I do. Me in the back of a police car because one of them has called one of you lot, and because of my past, you automatically believe it.
Did it calm down?
In the end, it did.
And what happened when it did calm down?
Sarah left, and me and Laura spoke things out. Laura admitted that she had made a massive mistake and that she wanted me back. I, of course, had to own up to the fact that I'd made a mistake by sleeping with Sarah again. But, she let me off pretty quick because of the situation. She just said that I had a lot of making up to do. So one thing led to another. If you catch my gist.
Did you forgive her?
I wish I could say that I forgave her. But I would be lying. She cheated on me. And at one point, I wanted her dead. But she's my wife. I love her. Even after everything that she did, I love her. She is the only woman that I've ever loved. So, if I had to forgive her, then that is what I intended on doing.
Why didn't you say this earlier on? That you had been with her last night?
Because if I had, you would have automatically pinned this on me, and you know you would have. I know how this works.
So, if that is the case, you're still the last person to see her alive. But yet, you weren't in the house when the murder happened.
After me and Laura had made up, we wanted our normal. So she ordered in the pizzas and I got my clothes on and I went down to the shops and got the snacks. That's the last time I saw her alive.
I saw Sarah go in, and then Ryan. When I saw him go in, my blood boiled. It hadn't even been a second, and there she was. She had him back in that house, the house that we had slept in. Had so many great times in.
I left the house and sat waiting in my car. Waiting for Ryan to leave so I could get my revenge. To show her the pain I felt.
Sarah came out of the house, but no Ryan. I knew what they were doing. I knew exactly where they were doing it. In that house. Then an hour or so later, Ryan appeared at the door.
I left the car,
I got out of my car.
walked up the path.
I walked across the road.
I wanted Ryan gone from my life forever. And now I could do that.
They had to pay for making me feel like this.
When he turned around, couldn't do it.
All of those years of pain went away. And I finally felt peaceful. Like I always did when I was with her.